just happens over a period of time, and we've lost several channels in that board, and it's just making it more difficult to continue to operate with it. But that's what that is. Thank you.
I realize we spent a lot of time on some other items, guys. Is there something that's jumping off the page before we start in 2 minutes? Yeah, so the resolution is for us to request $10 million, and it would be through City Highsmith's office and Roger Wicker's office. We can use it on either water infrastructure improvements, sewer, or stormwater. Carl Ray Furr is going to be speaking on our behalf and going to talk to them about it. There's several cities within the state of Mississippi that did receive some money this past year. So we want to make sure that we try to stay competitive and get some of these funds just to continue. Yeah, that's good. Let's call this meeting to order.
Alderman McHenry.
Here.
Alderman Williams.
Here.
Alderman Dennis.
Here.
Alderman Steverson.
Here.
Alderman Boyd.
Here.
Alderman Knight.
Here.
Alderman Gill.
Present.
We're going to have Alderman Keith Dennis lead us in prayer this evening.
Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for the many blessings that you've allowed us to have, that everything we have and every accomplishment, God, is a gift from you. Pray that you'll be with us tonight and here and in the upcoming days, that every decision we make will honor and please you. We pray for these things in Jesus' name we pray.
Amen. I'll lead us in the pledge this evening. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of consent agenda items. All items under this heading will be considered to be approved with one motion and one vote. If further discussion is desired on any item, it will automatically be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered as a general business item.
What's the pleasure of the board? All right, 2 motion on the floor. Any further discussion about the consent agenda? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Motion carries.
Public hearings number 1, determine whether or not a conditional use permit shall be granted to Roddy Rumley to allow him to build and operate an express tunnel car wash on parcel E08I-27 on South Pearson Road.
Mr. Rumley, would you approach the podium, please, sir? Tell us about your plans there.
I have a layout of my plans here that lay out the site and kind of pictures of what it's going to look like. And I have a picture of the existing one that I have. Can I post it?
Yes, sir.
And then we just pass it down here. You can scroll through to see the building.
That's a nice business.
That's all right.
That's the latest one. That's the month.
We did that one in Hattiesburg.
My only concern is traffic. I said, my only concern is getting out of there at traffic. That's a fast-paced road right there.
With the car wash, you know, you usually turn out about 145. You know, they don't turn out like.
Saturdays and Sundays pick up business now.
I understand, I have 5 locations. And they really have one in Byron right there between the Walmart and Chick-fil-A. I have, one in Brandon on, right in front of Bob Boyd's Pond. That's a lot of traffic in and out, but it flows really easy when in and out of traffic when it goes in. You pull in, you're in and out, so they're in the wash, and then the timing of it, all that stuff, it's really not a big issue. There's a whole lot tighter spot there in Byram, and you have a lot of traffic there. You have some around 20,000 cars going through there past that location like that. But it turns out you don't really have an issue of backing up traffic and any of that.
Do you know the distance from that location to the other one?
I have not measured it all. It's really on the other side of the interstate. It's a different traffic pattern than what this one is. If you notice, a lot of people, the way they do washes and everything, just like my wash in Brandon, it's closer to the one over there on the other side of 20. It's a total different pattern that they have, you know, that come in there. So it really doesn't affect either one of us on that, on the traffic count on that. Y'all need to see that
You want to see the site plan?
site plan.
I'll take a look at it. If I understand this correctly, to put this one in, they're gonna have to tear down the playground at Sonic, is that correct?
Yes.
So to my understanding, you actually own that lot, playground, is that right?
I have it under contract based on doing my due diligence on the approval of the project. So if I get the project pulled, yeah, I own it. It would be mine.
Essentially, Sonic's been leasing that parcel to put their playground on.
I guess.
Yeah.
So Sonic don't own it, maybe.
Yeah, Sonic owns it. Sonic owns that land.
Oh, you're buying it from Sonic?
I'm buying it from them. Yeah. Huh? They gotta do away with it. I'm not doing away with it. They're gonna do away with it. And it's in the contract.
But they have not had any objections with getting rid of that playground and all that back there.
It's for sale.
Oh, it is for sale?
Yeah, it's been for sale for a
So I
while.
ain't seen kids on that thing forever, you know.
Well, if you, kids, my type of car wash with what I do on here, kids actually like going through it a lot. I mean, they're, I mean, if y'all have kids on there, you'll see the small ones, they love going through my type of wash.
Question, sir.
Yes, sir.
All this wastewater, it is going through the proper interceptor?
Yes, sir. It has 3 different tanks. It's got tanks in the ground that does the separating system. We definitely do all that. And we have it tested also, and basically the mud and all sucked out, and we have it tested regularly.
So that runoff go into the drainage system?
It'll be water only. It's got, but,
Or it
yeah.
won't go into the drainage ditch out there?
No, no.
Coming over the street where it gets you.
No, we're not dumping any water on
I can tell a lot of water.
this.
Get a lot of water.
No, yeah, it'd be way too much water.
Well, I think, he's made his presentation. Brad, is there anything you want to add?
You know, noticing over the past couple of weeks,
I'm sorry.
you know, it is an odd-shaped piece of property, ain't no doubt. You know, and on the site plan, he is utilizing it the best he can, you know. You got car care clinics next door, you know, which is kind of similar in nature. You know, you got drive-through oil changes, it's drive-through car wash. I mean, really, when you break it down, it's, you know, I think, you know, a car wash, a change, it would bring a change to that area.
One thing I want to mention also that I do at all my watches, and you can ask probably half your police force. Anybody that's in a cop car, and that's be a highway patrol, sheriff, or whatever, they get free washes at any of my watches anytime. I usually wash around on one of my watches 600 to 700 cars, cop cars, a month. Police cars, I'll go broke.
How many people will you employ to maintain that facility?
I usually have usually around 3 to 4 on the premises at all time. I usually have about 11 a full-time, a manager, an assistant manager, a shift manager, and then we use a lot of high school students, and we do that too, but we have somebody who's supervising them. We're open from 7:30 till 7. We close. We control music. We don't allow any loud music on our deal. We actually put in speakers, radio for our own deal, and we put K-Love on it, and that's what we do. We keep the place clean and safe and bright. So we say, you gotta turn that down because we're playing the music, unless you want your earphones.
Thank you, Mr. Rumley. Does anyone here speak in opposition to this? If not, is
I
there
got one question.
okay?
That's right
Thank
next
you.
to the church part of it's gonna be. How much doors?
Say that?
It's pretty close to the church on Sundays. How much doors will be made for car wash?
When you go on a car wash, the tunnel is, all of it's inside the.
Okay, because the church goes right there, the other side of Sonic. I was thinking those Sundays coming out over here. Okay.
It's not going to distract anything.
We need to reach it.
Huh?
We need some religion.
I know.
I make a motion, we deny the request.
All right, there's a motion on the floor. Is there a second? All right, if there's not a second motion, then it fails, or a motion to approve the request. Is there a second? Second. All right, further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
No.
All right, roll call. Start with Keith Dennis.
No. No.
There's 3, 4. Yep, it's been denied, sir, so.
All right.
All right, thank you, Mr. Rumble.
Number 2, consider amendments to the official zoning ordinance of the city of Pearl, Mississippi.
This was what I would like to do is extend section 707 to August 1st of 2025. I think it's putting, economic times we're having right now, and making people put these new signs up. I think it would benefit our city and our business owners if we could extend that a couple more years to give us some time.
Any new business?
Yeah.
Any business?
I mean, anybody that's repairing a sign, put a new sign, they would have to follow the guidelines.
Or if you don't have a sign.
Correct.
All right.
Second.
Is there anybody here to speak in opposition to that? There's 2 motions on the floor. Any further discussion by the board? Make sure you state that date again. Attorney. August 1, 2025, extend. Yes, section 707. All right, it's 2 motions on the floor. If there's not any further discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Motion carries.
Public hearings 21-1911, determine whether or not the owners in those certain parcels of real property which are listed herein are in such a condition or state as to be unsightly and unkept or otherwise a menace to the public health and safety of the community, and therefore prohibited pursuant to Chapter 24 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Pearl, Mississippi, and Section 21-1911 of the Mississippi Code of 1972 as amended. Number 3, Arsa Terra, also known as Office Depot, Pearl, Mississippi, LLC, and located at 5450 Highway 80 East, Pearl, Rankin County, Mississippi 39208.
Is there anyone here representing this property located at 5450 Highway 80 East, Pearl, Mississippi? No. Ms. Arcatera. Just for the audience, we want to make sure that our citizens know what's going on with this building so they don't think that the city's neglecting it. It's not in, it's not conforming from a property maintenance standpoint. So I'm going to let representatives from our community development department talk about it and go through the same slide that we went through in work session. That way our citizens know that we've been diligently working on what they know is the Office Depot building on Highway 80. We're not just letting it decay or things not being in compliance, that we've actively tried to get this building in compliance. However, it's a conglomerate out of state that doesn't live here, so we have issues when we have people out of state to try to give them compliance. So Carl, I'll let you take it from here.
Well, according to, you look at the pictures, our sign needs to be cleaned and painted, parking lot needing resurfacing. The entire building needs to be painted. You can see the stains, and the back will show more of that. We don't have any general landscape maintenance being done to the property. Haven't had any for almost 2 summers now. They have not contracted anybody to do that. The city has been stepping in to try to keep it maintained, looking halfway decent, but it's just, it's an eyesore. And we just got multiple issues at the property. We've been dealing almost 2 years on this property now and have had little to no response. Backside of the property, of course, the parking lot in the back needs completely resurfaced. And paper, trash, everywhere on the property that's been there for I don't know how long. Brand new dumpster enclosure's been damaged. The only thing that they have completed is the new gutter system, the dumpster enclosures, and the fence on the back. But now you can see the weeds and stuff are growing up through the fence due to a lack of landscape maintenance. And then, of course, the back of the building needs to be painted, and the back part of the lot needs to be paved and addressed, and all the lighting on the outside needs to be replaced. But it's just, shouldn't have to look at that every day.
We appreciate your work on that, Carl, and something that myself and the city attorney discussed with the alderman during the work session was the fact that the state has passed a new bill that came into law that will allow cities to go after some non-conforming structures like this from a civil standpoint instead of a criminal standpoint. And the reason that's important is because you can put fines civilly against the ad valorem of the property, which basically you get into their pocketbook at that point. When you have a infraction from the property maintenance code and it's handled from a criminal standpoint, then if you have somebody out of state, as people in law enforcement field well know, you can't extradite somebody for a misdemeanor. So it's a situation where we think that if we go the civil route with a new state statute that's been approved, then we'll be able to get this company's attention. We hope so anyway, because we want to make sure that our corridors are looking good. But the biggest thing is, you know, the reason we do this is to build civic pride and make sure people are taking care of their property. And I think it helps improve the looks of the city. And again, it's a partnership. It's not Big Brother coming down on the city because on business owners, or even from a residential standpoint, that Big Brother's coming down, is to build civic pride within our communities and maintain our value as far as our land are concerned. So, Carl, again, Brad, thank y'all for your work on that. We appreciate it. I think y'all have a little bit of a highlight on the next public hearing that we're gonna have. Not such bad news, so I'm looking forward to listening to that. We don't have anybody here tonight, so we would need to continue this. If you want to listen.
To be adjudicated, just because I don't have anyone here, it's properly noticed. We gave a proper notice for some statute, so they chose not to send anybody to speak, and I don't know if there's an opposition.
So let's be clear, when we talk about adjudication, it's cleaning up the property. And that is from cutting the grass, cutting the ditch around it, things of that nature, but not any type of maintenance to the building itself.
And charging to their taxes, correct?
Yeah,
Right.
man,
Can we go back and charge what we've already done to them?
well, we place liens on them anyway, so we have already adjudicated some of that.
So moved, I'll make a motion.
Second.
All right, there's two motions on the floor. Anybody here to speak in opposition to this? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Moving on to the next public hearing.
Daniel Kamen, Eastgate Enterprises, and located at 3025 Highway 80 East, Pearl, Rankin County, Mississippi, 39208.
Is there anyone here representing that property?
Hi, my name is Guy Biggie. I work for Cayman. I do their maintenance all over the place. And I was here last year. I'm the one who put the gutters up in the back. I just found out a few weeks ago about this. They said I had to come to this meeting, so I'm here to let you know that I've already done a great deal of work this week on the property. I have painted the pylon signs today, and I have painted all of the issues you had with the parapet walls above the yummy Japanese restaurant, the pawn shop, and we did all of the. I did the canopy on the right-hand side over the tax next to Planet Fitness on that right-hand side all the way around to the corner there, and on the left-hand side all of the canopy from roses around to Japanese. And I also did the back above the roses loading dock area. I painted all that as well. I am finished with all of that. And I put the canopy that had fallen down right there at Roses. I just put that back up this evening and knocked off at 4 o'clock. We'll be putting the vinyl back up in the morning. And then I have the lights left to do. Those are the things that I was told.
Well, and y'all have also done some asphalt work, and I think there's some
That's
future
right.
dumpster enclosures coming.
The
But
dumpster,
that's not your purview, right?
sir?
That's not what you're handling though for it.
No, I don't know anything about that.
Okay. Well, this is the thing that we want to make sure that, in the future gets done, is that we don't have this deferred maintenance and we have these eyesores. I mean, if it's y'all's property, we would prefer that you guys keep it up. Again, I don't want to be redundant from what I just said in the prior public hearing, was just the fact that, you know, we're trying to make sure that our city looks nice, and that's part of enforcing property maintenance. So we appreciate your work, but our next request is to maintain that work. And
I
make sure
understand.
that, you know, you make sure that you can look at it and you can be happy with the way it looks like a finished product, and that's
Yes.
what we want.
Yes, sir. I understand. I do.
Brad, we discussed a little bit, this is a work session, would you like to approach the microphone and talk to us a little bit about it?
Yeah, like I say, I think your scope of work was pretty much the paint and that sort of thing, the
Yes, sir.
canopies that were falling, that sort of thing. But we have, reached out, like I say, you can see some areas of parking lot paving that has been complete now. Wasn't this way last week, but now we're making headway. But like I say, we still lack a couple of dumpster enclosures around back. And, like I say, we got the loading dock there that's filled in. There's supposed to be coming back, asphalting over it.
I'm sorry, I have a hard time hearing. I have hearing aids and everything echoes.
Yeah, I
apologize.
got you. Yeah.
Well, some of that doesn't actually
Yeah,
pertain to you.
yeah,
He's just
that
laying
wasn't
out.
pertaining to you.
Yeah.
That wasn't pertaining to you. I was talking about the asphalting.
Yeah, they did have that in my notes about the asphalt. I was thinking I had to come and patch some asphalt. When I got here done, I was so glad.
Right, yeah, that's right, I got you. But no, like I say, we seen you out there today painting the pylon poles and, you know, so.
Yes, sir. I got both of them on both ends of the complex.
Right, good deal. Like I say, you know, we, that area of asphalt right there, that probably been needing to be done for about 2 years now.
I understand.
That's what, yeah.
Well, Cayman Realty owns properties in
Right.
48 states.
Right,
And I'm just, and I don't go to California. In fact, I've got to go to Kilgore, Texas after this one. And I'm going home to North Carolina when I've finished, then I got to go down there. So I just go, you know, from New York down, back this
I
way.
got you.
Well, you might ought to get you a schedule and check them off every time you go down there yearly to make sure they look good.
Yeah, you know, there's another guy that does work for Cayman, and he did that at one time. And so I think probably what's going to happen is one of us is going to be looking at these properties.
Be proactive rather than reactive.
I agree.
Well, we got you here today, so apparently we have your contact information.
Yes,
So
sir.
that's good. So
You
you're
are
the one
welcome
we're
to
gonna
have-
call if we have any problems.
I will give you my contact information. You are welcome to call me.
Brad and Mandy and Carl have it, so you're the person that we're gonna stay in contact with.
You need my, okay, I will give it to you.
You said it needs about, what, 30 more days to be finished, or 45?
Yeah, we're
45.
gonna give them 45, yeah, 'cause they give them a little time to get that asphalt in and get the dumpster enclosed.
So everything else that needs to be done is dumpster enclosures.
Dumpster enclosures, recycled cardboard. We had talked with Roses.
Oh,
They-
that's
they-
you're talking about at
That's
the back of
right.
Roses. Roses have to take care of that. Now, you want an enclosed area there?
To keep that cardboard from blowing across to that neighbor's
Keep
property.
that right, that
I got it.
recycled cardboard.
So I think, I don't know if that's, and y'all know this
A
better
chain
than I
link
do.
fence, is that appropriate to put there? A chain link box fence, you know, something right there,
Well,
about
we was
16 by
gonna-
16 or 10 by 10?
We was gonna give them something, yeah, give them something like that, you know, whatever.
Well, there's a certain
Whatever they
apparatus
say
like
they
they
need.
have behind Sam's that is
Right,
specifically
that's
for
right.
that.
It just got the little screen slats and the chain link, you know?
Yes.
so-
So, I mean, you
Wake
could just
everybody
have
up.
a fence put up there
Right,
and with a gate, so they can get into it.
that's right.
You know, I don't know how they do that, because if you see it now, see, like, when I was here last year, I could get up on top of that with a lift. I can't do that now because that asphalt is. So, I don't know if they do that with a pallet jack or what, I don't know how they put it up in there.
Right, I'm
So,
not sure.
I'll have to ask them how they do that, and we'll have to try and, you know, get that,
Right.
some kind of access to it.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, thank you.
All right, the recommendation is 45 days.
45 days.
Is there anyone here to speak in opposition to that? If not, is there a motion?
Make a motion to continue until 9/18/19.
Second. Further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. This time is the portion of the adjournment of our board meeting. I did not receive anybody that recently passed, but Alderman Keith Dennis came up to me prior to the meeting, and he just wanted to celebrate the fact that our former alderman in District 5, James Thompson, has been reported cancer-free, that he is no longer sick at this time, and that his cancer is in remission. So that's something, that's a praise. So we're really glad that James is doing so well, and hope and pray that he continues to do so. Tonight we are going to adjourn, and not in his memory, but the aspect of what God has done in his life, and has healed him and get him some further years. So if there's someone that would entertain a motion right now.
Second.
All right, there's two motions on the floor. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. This meeting's adjourned.